And millions of people across the UK are missing out on a share of £19 billion in unclaimed benefits. That's according to figures from the think tank Policy in Practice. So, Martin, let's start with universal credit. 1.25 million people missing out on an average of around £9,600 a year. Who should be checking if they're entitled to these benefits?
OK, so universal credit is the catch-all benefit for people of working age to help with living and housing. Now, the crucial thing to understand here is this is not just for people out of work. 41% of universal credit applicants, people who get universal credit, are in work. So, first, if you've got a low income, whether you're working or not, if you've got a low income, you will want to check this out. But you could be income stretching up to £40,000 a year of family income if you've got children and you're paying for childcare and you're paying for rent. You could still be entitled to universal credit. So that's my rule of thumb. Family income below 40 grand, get yourself on an online benefits calculator. It'll take about 10 minutes. Put your details in and see if you're entitled to this. And even if you checked a year ago, because the thresholds went up in April, there are a few people, not too many, but a few people who are now eligible who weren't eligible before.
Meanwhile, 850,000 households are missing out on an average of £3,500 a year in pension credit, and there's a deadline looming.
There's a big deadline on this one, as we discussed earlier. So pension credit is an income top-up and a gateway benefit. It both gives you income and it means you're entitled to lots of other benefits. And one of those is the cost of living payments. Now, there's one of £301 being made at the moment. And if you get pension credit by this Friday, then you get that £301 as well as your pension credit. So who's missing out? This is my rule of thumb. If you're a single pensioner with income below £220 a week, or a pensioner couple, both of state pension age, with income below £320 a week, then check out if you're due pension credit. I'm not saying you will be due it. I'm saying it is worth you seeing if you are due it. That's total income from all sources. So you can use the gov.uk's pension credit calculator, or you can call up the pension credit helpline to see if you're eligible. And just to show how important this is, there are 250,000 pensioners missing out on another £5 grand a year in housing benefit. Because with universal credit, while housing benefit is automatic, with pension credit, you have to apply. Now, you can do it when you're applying for pension credit the first time, or if you already get pension credit and you're struggling with your rent, then apply at your local council for housing benefit as well.
On to council tax support. 3 million people missing out on support that could get them more than £1,000 a year. How can you help them? This
one is a big one. Now, each council does it differently. Some councils, you won't pay any council tax at all. Who may be missing out? Well, if you're on means-tested benefits, we've just talked about them. Universal credit, pension credit. The big point here, you must apply for this separately to your universal credit and pension credit application, and people don't know it's available. They don't know they need to apply. That's why 3 million are missing out. You apply via your local council. If you're on universal credit, pension credit or other means-tested benefits, then you might want to speak to your council to see if you're one of those 3 million people who could be getting this help and aren't.
500,000 people missing out on...
It's staggering, this, isn't it? Just staggering them.
£4,000 a year in carer's allowance. So if someone is caring for somebody else, how do you qualify for extra help?
So you've got to be caring over 35 hours a week, unpaid. Now, caring can just be, cooking, cleaning, helping somebody dress, all of these, taking them out when they need to go out, all of these help. Now, the person you're caring for must be someone who gets attendance allowance or sometimes personal independence payments or disability living allowance. You must earn under around 140 quid a week after tax or be on a low state pension. So quite difficult there. These are the unpaid support staff of our country and we need to support them. This isn't the biggest payment in the world, but it will help. If you get under 35 hours a week, check out carer's credit. You don't get any money, but you might get national insurance credits that will help you towards your state pension when you're older.
Finally, also support for your water bill with the help of water social tariffs. But 5.7 million households are missing out on an average £160 a year.
The biggest one of all being missed out, the least known one. So let's just have a look at this. Every water company has to have its own social tariff. Now, this is for people on lower incomes. Only 2 in 10 people who are eligible for this are claiming this right now. So what you need to do, if you're on a lower income and you're struggling to pay your water bill, or even if you're not, if you're just on a lower income, go onto your firm's website and search social tariffs. If you're not online, call up the firm and see if there's any help. And there's more help too if you're on a water meter. The Water Sure scheme for those on benefits, if you have medical need, which means you need to use more water, or you've got 3+ school-aged children, that's an extra help that you get as well as this or separately to this. But you can just see, I'm just the tip of the iceberg. The most important thing I'd do if I were you is get yourself onto an online benefits calculator to see the help that's available. Millions of people missing out on so much vital support in the middle of a cost of living crisis.
Martin, thank you very much indeed.